PFF TV, Solomon Wilcots, Steve Palazzolo here to talk about the Dolphins' open quarterback competition between Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen. I'm not so sure if this is going to be a long, drawn-out decision. The veteran leadership, the charisma, the wit of one Ryan Fitzpatrick, he tends to win over every locker room on every team that he goes to. And it always becomes a problem for that younger quarterback who they want to ascend to become the starter. And I think that plays out here in Miami.
Well, I don't know if the Dolphins want that, though. They traded for Josh Rosen with the hopes that he's the quarterback of the future. And as much as I love Fitzpatrick, and I think internally, look, we might be rooting for Fitzpatrick to win the job because we got our own little Fitzmagic shirt that we're selling at the PFF store, and it's fantastic. But I think the Dolphins want Josh Rosen, obviously, to win this job. And here's the thing with Fitzpatrick. He has been an up and down, roller coaster quarterback his entire career. But last year was spectacular. He was so good. But I still think even as well as he played last year, you pretty much know what you're getting with Fitzpatrick. And I think the Bucs even said, you know what, we got to go back to Jameis Winston because we're expecting Fitzmagic to come down just a little bit. The Dolphins must want Josh Rosen to win the job because he needs to be their future, or they need to see if he's their future.
There's no doubt that the Fitzmagic tends to wear off over time. But he graded 13th overall among NFL quarterbacks by Pro Football Focus in the 2018 season. Had a really good grade. There was times when he played extremely well. I think that's going to happen in Miami. I think there's going to be times when he plays well. And when you think about the experience, because remember, they're both playing in a new offense, in a new system brought in by Brian Flores and that New England Patriots group that's come down to Miami. He's been in this system now for 5 weeks longer, than Josh Rosen. He's a smart kid. We all know he's from Harvard, but he also just have this personality that makes it fun for everyone else in the huddle. I've been around this guy. I've seen the other players gravitate toward. And I know that's not what the Dolphins want. They want one thing. Right. But just as we've seen in the past, when he was in New York with the Jets, when he's been in Buffalo, we saw it, of course, in Tampa. The team wants one thing. Ryan Fitzpatrick tends to outperform the expectations, and then you're forced to leave him in there.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in, but it did seem like, hey, look, they signed him while they were working out the trade for Rosen. He was going to be their bridge guy. And as well as he played last year, 84 grade last season, you just look at previous seasons, 67, 51, 66, 74. So the inconsistency does show up. I'm not denying the locker room stuff. I did a little work with him a couple years ago, too. We did a little Super Bowl special.
He's enjoyable, isn't he?
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He is outstanding. I think Miami, though, still needs to have their long-term vision clear. And their long-term vision is they're probably not going to win this year. And I know that's a tough sell to the players as well, right?
It is tough. That's right.
They're not going to win this year. Fitzpatrick's probably not the guy that they're going to have 2 or 3 years down the road. They're going to be in the market for a quarterback next year, whether it's Tua in the draft, maybe 2 years from now, whether it's Trevor Lawrence in the draft for Clemson. But between now and then, they got to see what they have in Josh Rosen. So maybe just don't get too sucked into the charisma.
And that can happen. You could easily see Fitzpatrick playing well, and sooner or later, they're saying, look, we've got to get a look at Josh Rosen. If we're going to answer the question, who is our future at quarterback, sooner or later, you got to play Josh Rosen despite how well Ryan Fitzpatrick plays.
Yeah, I think that's the key. And with Rosen, coming out, we have to go back to our original evaluation on Rosen, which was he was a very good college quarterback who struggled last year. Was going to be pretty much a product of what's happening around him. Terrible offensive line at Arizona. That's why he did not have a great season. But back at UCLA, grading in the 80s and being a solid all-around quarterback who can make NFL throws. You just have to try to get the best of him with the supporting cast that Arizona didn't have. So I think you try to build that roster and see if Rosen can do it with a better supporting cast than he had in Arizona.
One category that I love here at Pro Football Focus that you guys do a good job at grading quarterbacks and what we call turnover-worthy throws. Josh Rosen had 18 of those, 9th most of any other quarterbacks in the National Football League 1 year ago. Now, some of those passes turn out they are not turnovers. but they should have been. That's part of the category. Am I not correct? And what does that mean for a young quarterback like him?
So this was kind of expected with Rosen. If you look at my pre-draft evaluation, I thought that the turnover-worthy plays were just kind of part of his DNA.
Yeah.
He is in that gunslinger type of mold, so you're going to get some of that. The fact that he ranks that high while still missing a little bit at the beginning of the season with Sam Bradford as starter, that's not great, but that's how he was at UCLA. He forces throws, he'll make some bad decisions, but he could also make the special throws. So I think he's one of those guys you have to know what you're getting into. There's going to be some ugly stuff in there, but he can make the tight seam throw, the dig route, the NFL type throw. So I think you just have to know that there's going to be a little boom or bust to Rosen.
Here's the other side of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had 15 turnover-worthy throws. Okay,
and he'll throw about 8 in a game too. Sometimes.
Exactly.
Right.
Only 3 less than the young rookie quarterback. Well, you might expect that from a rookie, but you don't expect that from a veteran quarterback. But that's what comes with Ryan Fitzpatrick. This thing is going to play out over the course of the summer, and I think for the better part of the 2019 season. Keep an eye on the quarterback rotation for the Miami Dolphins. He is Steve Palazzolo. I'm Solomon Wilcots for Pro Football Focus TV.